This week on Pop Rocks Radio, a film about three Detroit brothers who deserve to stand alongside the Stooges and the MC5 as early architects of the punk sound. Plus our latest playlist picks and our newest segment, the Power Pop Blind Box. What's a blind box? Ask your kids. This is the Weirdo Mixtape.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to violence.
Welcome to Pop Rocks Radio's Weirdo Mixtape. As always, I am your host, Bishan. 3 weeks in a row. May not seem like a lot, but it's a personal record for me.
You're doing great.
If you dig what we're doing here, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. And if there is something or someone you'd like to see us cover here on the show, drop me a note in the comments below and we'll see if we can get that into a future episode. All right, we have lots to get to this week. Let's get to it. Let's kick things off with a track that could be my favorite song this year. The Lemon Twigs from New York, fronted by brothers Brian and Michael Diodario. But the really cool thing about this band is that as they play live, they take turns being up front. Everybody swaps instruments. They obviously love what they're doing. With Danny Ayala and Reza Maitan, this is the Lemon Twigs with I've Got a Broken Heart. Australia has a history of bringing us some of the coolest bands, from the Saints to the Stems to Radio Birdman. The list just goes on and on. This band from Melbourne is carrying on that tradition with their debut album, introducing the Gnomes. This is the Gnomes with I'm Not the One. Bliss from Baton Rouge released their debut album, Pass Your Pain Along, earlier this year as a three-piece. And with the departure of bassist Hunter Kaiser, remaining members Josh Higdon and Robert Demouy are back as a duo with a new EP. From Keep Your Joy to Yourself, this is Fear and Trembling. Wakeland is a band that formed in Stillwater, Oklahoma back in 1990. They had a string of independent releases starting with Wanting in 1992, up to Blur in 2000, finally calling it quits in 2004. Fast forward 10 years when they reunited for a one-off show that turned into 10 years of some of their best work. This is from their album Drifting Off, released in September. This is Here and Now. Here and now, I need to dream. Here and now, just for me. This next track is from a band from East London that completely blew me away when I saw them last year. They are a force, a rock, punk, power pop band that tuck clever lyricism and skillful melody inside all that beautiful racket. This is the band Bad Nerves with their new single, Loner. Tom Morolda has carved out a niche that's all his own since his 1979 debut album as The Toms. Each album is a solo effort, crafting pop tunes with professionalism, but an exuberance that really belies his experience. And with The Toms, there is no telling where each song is going. Each track is a joy in listening discovery. This is the lead track off his latest album, Soundbites. Here is The Toms with Summer Without You. Chicago's Kai Slater may only be 20 years old, but his musical tastes are firmly rooted in the holy jangle of the British invasion. But he doesn't limit himself either. One of his other projects, a band called Lifeguard, is equal parts experimentation and noise pop. He also publishes his own zine, Hallow Gallow, and is a poster boy for the new DIY ethic embraced by so many young artists who are tired of digital overload. This is from Balloon, 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 the new album from his other project, The Sharp Pins. This is Papa Fang Out. And that's it for this week's tracks. If you want to support these artists and get yourself some great tunes in the process, buy their music. And while you're at it, go to their shows, buy their merch, and remind them that even though the algorithm may be cold and heartless, real humans still show up, the cool ones preferably with cash.
Awesome.
And now, this.
Sentore.
ABC presents Tuesday Movie of the Week.
We're just now discovering this band that had been sort of lying in wait.
Something they pressed 30 years ago, selling for $800.
The ultimate
I don't know of a story like that. I don't know of one.
Every once in a while, just when I'm convinced that social media is nothing but noise and vitriol, something cuts through. This week, it was a post from Punk Rock History on Blue Sky. Their post was about a band that I have somehow missed. The band is called Death. Death was three brothers from Detroit who formed a band in 1971 and decided they didn't want to take the well-worn path to Motown. They were obsessed with bands like The Who, Alice Cooper, The Beatles, all the white boy music they said they were warned against playing. They ignored that advice and created their own kind of mayhem instead. What they made wasn't punk because punk didn't exist yet. It was more of a raw prophecy for what punk would become. Their brother David Hackney was the visionary, and after their dad died, he renamed the band Death. Not to be edgy or shocking, but because he wanted to face a thing that most people spend their whole life avoiding. To him, it was spiritual, it was honest, death was real. Clive Davis even funded 7 tracks for Columbia Records, but on the condition that they changed their name. They refused. It was more than a name, it was an identity, and something they weren't willing to give up so easily. And Clive Davis wasn't the only one. Again and again, they were turned down because of their name. When the industry slammed every door shut, they relocated to New England and reinvented themselves as the Fourth Movement, a hard rock gospel project that confused listeners who really liked the music but just didn't appreciate the sermon. Eventually the trio splintered. David went back to Detroit. The younger brothers, Bobby and Dennis, drifted into a reggae band, and like a lot of great bands from the 70s, that initial spark got swallowed by life. David died in 2000, still believing that one day the world would come looking for their music. What he couldn't have predicted was that the lone 7-inch that they cut themselves would start showing up at underground punk parties with DJs and collectors going, who are these guys? And the word started to spread. Eventually their own kids got wind of it, and none of them had any idea that their quiet musician fathers had once been part of this band that would help to create a blueprint for what would become punk. And when the dam finally broke, they finally issued the tracks that they had recorded in the 70s that nobody was interested in because of their name. There was this documentary, there were new tours, a new guitarist stepping into David's slot, and finally an overdue celebration of a band that really should have been legends the first time around. The film itself is okay, it was done well enough, but what really propels it forward is the story. And Death's story hits me kind of in the same way that Big Star's story does. It's a reminder that sometimes the world isn't ready for what you're creating, but that doesn't mean it's not great. Sometimes it just needs to sit in the dark a while until the universe decides to pick it up, dust it off, and finally say, Now I get it. I watched a band called Death on YouTube. Somebody has posted it there. The copy that's up there has got some issues, but it's definitely worth a watch, issues and all. Right, Lucky? Don't know? All right, bud. He couldn't wait to get away from me today. Not enough treats. And now a word from our sponsor. But since we still don't have a sponsor, it's really just a word. Hey everyone, as we move into the holiday season, I just want to shout out some organizations that are doing great work in supporting musicians in need. Things are tough all over, and for musicians, there is no health plan, there is no unemployment. So many rely on services provided by these nonprofits as they continue to create the art that makes our lives all that much better. Please remember that organizations like Music Cares, Sweet Relief, and Punk Rock Saves Lives, and so many more, rely on donations from all of us to keep doing the good work that they're doing. And of course, local food banks around the country are being stretched very thin due to increasing demand. So if you're able, please consider giving to one of these national organizations or something local to your area so all our friends and neighbors can enjoy the holiday season as well. Okay, let's get back to the show.
We have a very important scene here. This is one of the hot scenes that is about heat and chemistry.
Oh, that's the artistic portion of the film.
That's right. So you just give her a little room, react normally, be sensitive above all, because in this scene, Daisy's going to take off her blouse.
And now a new segment we're calling the Power Pop Blind Box. Some artists get trapped in their era. Tommy Keene never did. His songs feel suspended in a pocket where jangly guitars, big melodies, and bittersweet longing never go out of style. He came out of the DC scene in the late 70s with The Raz, then stepped forward as a solo artist with Strange Alliance in '82, but the true ignition point was his 1984 EP, Places That Are Gone. The kind of record critics lose their minds over because it delivers songcraft so sharp you wonder why it isn't all over the radio. The title track is one of those power pop anthems that make you believe choruses can actually heal people. From there, he had an incredible run. Songs from the film in 1986, based on Happy Times in 1989, and track after track that feels like a perfectly written short story disguised as a rock song. When Our Vows Break remains one of those tunes that sneaks up the back of your spine, classic Keene, both soaring and slightly bruised. The man wrote like he was chasing the perfect melody even though he'd already written 10 of them. Fans will tell you he was the rare combination, meticulous songwriter, killer guitarist, and legitimately one of the nicest humans in the business. He released albums right up through 2016, and when he died in his sleep the following year, it felt like losing a secret the world should have treasured more loudly. If you've never heard Tommy Keene, start anywhere. The hooks do the work. If you already love him, you know why we keep coming back. He wrote the kind of songs that stay young even when we don't.
May tomorrow be a perfect day.
May you find love and laughter along the way.
May God keep you in his tender care
Till he
brings us together again. Good night, everybody.
And that is it for this edition of Pop Rocks Radio's Weirdo Mixtape. Join us again next time when I'm sure we'll have something cool to show you. Playing us out today from their 1979 live EP, Airtime, this is Tommy Keene's band, The Raz, with Cherry Vanilla. And this is BGN from Pop Rocks Radio. Thanks for watching. Be good, be weird, and we'll see you next time.